If you're listening to this at night, pay attention. Not to the words, to the pauses. Because if you notice a beat between my sentences that I didn't put there, stop the video. Don't rewind. And whatever you do, don't tap back. I'm recording this because I can't keep it in my head anymore. And because I think if I say it out loud, it might finally leave. My name doesn't matter. What matters is my job did. I used to work nights at a remote atmospheric station, not glamorous, just antennas, weather balloons, and a soundproof room we used for calibrating sensors. We listened to the sky. That was the whole point. Most nights are boring. Wind noise, distant aircraft, ice crystals ticking against metal. You learn the difference between weather and equipment lying to you. Then the package arrived. No return address. No paperwork, just a padded envelope. Inside was a single printed satellite image, a blank gray sea, and above it a shape that didn't belong, not a spiral, not a storm cell, not even clouds really, more like stacked fabric, folded layers, suspended too high to behave like anything we knew. On the back, one sentence, typed, perfect spacing. Don't play it back alone. That's the first lie I told myself. I said I wouldn't. But it was 2:07 a.m. My supervisor was asleep in the main dorm. And curiosity is a quiet kind of hunger. I took the image to the lab, pulled up the live feeds. Infrared, radar, acoustic, nothing at first, just clean lines, clear sky around the anomaly. That was wrong. Storm systems don't appear inside perfect silence. I zoomed in, and I noticed something I didn't want to notice. The edges weren't drifting. They were tightening like a muscle holding itself still. I told myself it was my eyes, too much caffeine, too much night. Then the first report came in from a coastal station across the ocean. Not a formal report, a voice message, a tired technician whispering like he didn't want the room to hear him. Are you hearing the drumming? He laughed once, a shaky laugh. Then he stopped laughing. Tell me you hear it too. I replayed the message 3 times. No drumming in the audio, just his voice. But after the third replay, I realized my jaw was clenched. My molars hurt, like I'd been vibrating my teeth. I opened our soundproof room. It's not a studio. It's a white box with foam panels and 2 chairs, a place designed to erase the world. I sat down, put on monitoring headphones, and patched into the station's high-altitude acoustic sensor. At first, nothing. Then a soft impact. Low frequency, more felt than heard. Thump, pause, thump. I sat up. It wasn't random, it had spacing. Like a person counting time before the next hit. Thump, thump. The second one came sooner. My palms started sweating, not fear, recognition, because it wasn't thunder. Thunder rolls, it spreads, it changes shape. This was consistent, this was deliberate. I checked the timestamps, checked the sensor, checked the cable, everything clean. I did what you're never supposed to do. I isolated the sound, boosted it, filtered the noise, and I heard the skin of it, not a drum, not a boom. A pressure movement, like something flexing around a hollow space. I took the headphones off just for a second, and still I felt it, not in the room, in my ribs. I laughed, quietly. Because that's what you do when your brain finds something impossible. You try to turn it into a joke. I called it the sky heartbeat. I wrote it in the log like that would make it harmless. At 3:11 a.m. the anomaly grew, not by miles, not by continents, by definition. It became sharper on the feed, as if it wanted to be seen. And this is where my memory starts to behave strangely, because I remember my phone buzzing with messages, a chain of alerts, emergency bulletins, airport closures. But when I later checked my phone history, those messages weren't there. Just empty space between 300 and 400, like my device had taken a breath and forgotten. At 4:18, a colleague finally came into the lab. Day shift, early riser. She saw me in the soundproof room and tapped the glass. I opened the door. She didn't ask what I was doing. She just said, "You look pale." I said I was fine. She looked past me at my notebook, at the waveform. Then she said something that made my stomach drop. "You're writing the gaps wrong." I blinked. "What?" She pointed. Between the thumps, I'd been marking the intervals, counting seconds, like a metronome, shook her head. You're treating it like it's keeping time. It is keeping time, I said. She didn't argue, she just leaned closer. No, she whispered, it's keeping your time. I stared at her, waiting for her to explain. She didn't. She just walked to the sensor console, tapped a few keys, and pulled up the biometric feed. Our station tracks basic health for safety, heart rate, oxygen, sleep quality, standard. She pointed to my heart rate graph. Every time the sky heartbeat thumped, my heart answered half a second later. Not because I was scared, because my body was sinking. I said, that's coincidence. Didn't look at me. She said, play it again. I didn't want to, but I did. Thump. My chest tightened. Thump. My pulse jumped. And then something happened that still makes me feel stupid when I say it. The next beat came early. Not early like faster. Early like interrupting me, like it got impatient. I held my breath without realizing, just to see. The drumming paused. I waited. I exhaled. Thump. Right on my exhale, backed away from the console. No, she said. No, no, no. I tried to laugh again. It came out thin. I said, it's reacting to air pressure changes. Stared at me, eyes glassy. Then she asked a question that didn't belong in a lab. Have you been talking to it? I almost said no. But the truth is I had, not with words, with attention, with listening, with the part of me that wanted patterns to be friendly. I looked up at the ceiling, even though the ceiling was just concrete, like I could see through it, and I whispered, you hear me? Face changed instantly. Not shock, recognition, like she'd heard those exact words before from someone else in a different building, in a different life. She grabbed my wrist. Don't, she said. What? Don't ask it questions you can't survive the answers to. I pulled my hand back a little too hard, and that's when the station lights flickered just once, a stutter, then normal again. But the monitors didn't go normal. The anomaly on screen shifted, not drifting, turning. Not like rotation, like a person turning their head when you say their name. The feed's audio spiked. The drumming deepened, and under it a new layer appeared, not a voice, not language, a texture like fingertips dragging across a microphone covered her mouth. I should shut it down, unplugged everything. Left. Instead, I did the worst thing I could have done. I matched it. I opened an audio generator, set a low-frequency pulse, and I tapped back. One beat. A pause, one beat, a child's game. The moment I did it, my ears popped, like the room pressure changed. The drumming stopped, total silence. The kind of silence that makes you notice your own swallowing, your own blinking. I felt relief for exactly 2 seconds. Then the new sound arrived, not from the headphones, from the building itself. A low resonance in the metal beams, thump, thump, closer, as if the sky had moved down and found our address. Ran outside, I followed. Cold air. Stars washed out by a dull gray smear above the ocean line. But here's the detail I can't explain. We couldn't see it directly, not like it was hidden, like our eyes refused to complete the shape. Every time I tried to focus, my vision slipped. I'd look at the edge and my brain would fill it with something else, a trick. A blank, a safe lie, but my body knew where it was, because my breathing changed when I faced it, shorter, shallower. And above us, the clouds weren't moving. They were waiting, started crying, silent tears, no sobs. She didn't take her eyes off the sky. She said, there's more than one rhythm. I listened. At first I heard only the familiar beat, then I caught it. A second pulse, offset like a reply from far away. 2 heartbeats, not together, not fighting, coordinating. The air pressure dropped, not like weather, like the atmosphere took a step back. Our station radios crackled, voices screaming, then cutting off mid-sentence. The ocean in the distance flattened, as if someone pressed a palm over it. And then my phone lit up. One notification from a blocked number, no caller ID, just text. Good, you remembered. My throat went dry because I didn't remember, not fully, but something in me did, like a dream you only recall when someone says a specific word. Whispered, we've done this before. I said, no, she shook her head. Yes. And that's when I noticed her wrist. A thin hospital band, old, faded, like she'd never taken it off. Printed on it in small black letters my station ID number. Not hers, mine. I stared at it until my eyes watered. Saw my expression and backed away, trembling. I'm not supposed to be here yet, she said. "What are you talking about?" She pointed at the sky. The first time it didn't answer. My mouth opened. Nothing came out because the sound had changed again. The drumming was faster now, but not panicked, excited, like it had found the correct tempo. Grabbed my shoulders. "Listen to me," she said. "This is the part where you think you can fix it." "I can," I lied. She stared into my eyes like she was searching for the version of me that had already failed. Then she said, "It's not a storm." I whispered, "I know." And she answered, "It's a door." The anomaly pulsed once, hard. The lights across the coastline blinked out in a line, not exploding, not dramatic, just turning off, like a decision. In the sudden darkness, the sky beat again, and my chest answered. I couldn't tell where my heartbeat ended and the skies began. I started to whisper without meaning to. Not words, numbers, intervals, timing. A pattern my mouth remembered, stepped back, horrified. "Stop," she said, but I couldn't because the truth finally landed heavy and simple. The warning on the photo wasn't about safety. It was about loneliness. Don't play it back alone, because if you do, it picks you. It makes you the instrument. I turned to beg her to help me, and she wasn't there. Just empty concrete, just the wind, as if she'd never existed, but her voice was still in my ear, faint like a recording. "Don't ask it questions you can't survive." I stumbled back inside, locked the soundproof room, sat down, hands shaking. And I did the only thing I could think of. I hit record. Because if this thing wanted rhythm, I was going to leave proof. Here's the last part. The part I haven't told anyone. The drumming is still happening, not outside. Inside my apartment. Inside quiet rooms, always just under the threshold of hearing. And every night, right before sleep, it waits for my breathing to slow. Then it taps once, soft, patient, like it's reminding me the door is still open, and something on the other side learned my timing. Last night I listened to a storm that wasn't a storm. It wasn't thunder. It was timing. Like something huge was practicing a rhythm and waiting for me to clap back. I did. And now it won't stop following my breathing.